how to estimate your project budget. It's only rough cost estimate. All of you remember, there is only a rough cost estimate. We are not calculating the exact picture of this or figure of this. Herein we do only rough cost. There are quick methods depending on the type of project. Here you have 5 types of calculation of your project cost. Although you, because the beginning you do not know the topic, the problem you're going to analyze thoroughly, or what may be the expected outcome, right? You may not have complete idea about these things. That's why you need a rough cost estimate of what should be in the project, isn't it? Okay, we will now, one moment. One moment, let me do this projector problem. Okay, is it already? Right. Any idea? 5 methods I have presented here. Any idea that can give you an rough cost estimate of a project than this part? If I give 5, you should come out. You can also come out with another 2 or 3. That's how the evolution or research growing, isn't it? Okay, let me present what is here now. Experts' opinion, right? Based on the experts' opinion, online forum discussion about the prices of, it may be both materials, methods, and the partners. There's wages can be for all of the items involved in the project. You can collect the opinion from the experts, then come out with a rough cost estimate. It may be from publications as well. Analogy of estimate. You can simply compare with the previous year, last 2 years, and then put only the inflation of rate. Then you may know what may be the project cost for today if you have a previous record. That is called analogy. Here is analogous cost times project capacity over analogous capacity. The exact one you can substitute in this equation. Herein it says some exponential value, some power is a zero point 0.7, some power zero point 0.7, right? Zero point 0.7 to the zero point 0.7. It will be increasing or decreasing depending on the type of project. And then parametric estimate. You can say a proposed cost is time cost by parameter. So for example, hello, can you please mute your mic, all of you? Please mute your mic. Anybody there? Okay. What happened to this? Okay, it's working now. The slide is clear. Right. Okay. Can you see the slide? Yeah, we can see the slide. Oh no, Mansur, I missed the slide. Okay. If you know number of parameters you're going to have, like the rate of one computer, for example, you're going to develop your computer system, right? The rate of one computer system multiplied by number of computers required. You can say how much might be your project cost. So parametric rate by parameter, you can, knowing the unit price, you know how much may be estimated cost or proposed cost of a project. Then cost indexing by index. The cost of current, cost of today or cost of current will be cost of the previous times the inflation rate. For example, it may be inflation rate. I cannot say inflation rate. It should be for this particular value of a particular item. It may be wages, it may be material, or it may be, right, it may be consultancy charges of any type. Okay. This index you have to know for this particular topic, particular project. This index you need to calculate, or you may get from publications before, what kind of progression it is. Is it increasing or decreasing, or what kind of formula can be utilized for calculating these indexes, right? So these indices you can find out from the publications. Substitute with this, you may get the current. This is going to give you the differences between the previous and the current. For some cases it is existing, some cases you need to work out. Otherwise you can move on to other type of, or choose other type of estimation. Analytical estimating. Cost of project is equal to, very simple. Cost of project is equal to summation of cost of all elements. Cost of material plus cost of wages plus cost of consultancy, cost of salaries, and so on. You can put all of them here to get your project costs. Any questions so far? No question?
No, miss.
Okay, good. So once you prepare your project costs, go for scheduling. These are very, very important. If you want to, I want to give you an example. I want to give you an example so that you know the importance of project scheduling in our own faculty, in our own university. Currently, IR4 is going on. Industry revolution, uh, development of our laboratories with face recognition or IR4 technology in place, right? In this case, you know, we have about 20 labs altogether in the university. We need to plan how are you going to renovate, it's not renovate, extend or establish this type of project. In doing so, every parties in the project have to be involved and informed, right? They have to be informed day to day life. What is the activity today? What is the budget? If not budget, right? Like if the users might be lecturers. Say for example, start from lecturers. The lecturers should be knowing what activity is going on, whether the particular erection, particular implementation, particular modification of equipment is suitable for. Will there be any flaw when you move from one place to another, or modify the installation and so on? What kind of facilities required, what kind of special requirements that it requires in terms of safety, connections, assembling, all have to be well informed across the parties involved. Otherwise you will end up with a problem of, I don't mention the thing, but it so happened that in phase one, we have to move and we have to one day, one occasion, in one occasion, that party involved in the project is not being involved, not being informed. Then the erections, everything completed, we have to dismantle it, redo it, waste our time, equipment, manpower, everything to rebuild the structure to suit the purpose, right? So this is like this type of problems which will incur money, people, effort, not involving the related people, who will end up with wastage of money and so on. Money, resources, time, everything. Okay, so you have to be managing through softwares, through meetings, online gadgets, tools, media, like these type of project softwares. You can handle them or day-to-day life very well, right? Whom to inform that when the day started, whom to inform how long they are needed, what is going to be happening today, which funding is coming or finishing, which stock is finishing or need to buy, refill materials for the construction or for the establishment. All these things have to be thoroughly studied, can be followed every day by having this type of project management. If not, there is a failure, and the consequence of failure is so high, right? It is money, resource, and the time, and also quality, right? Sometimes renovation doesn't fit to the changes. You need to spend a lot in renovations if there is anything happen. To determine when to order and deliver materials and equipments. No, I'm here, right? Project scheduling. To establish sequence, here, so just now I give an example. The sequence of work has to be properly arranged, properly explained to people, and also we need to follow, right? The related parties should be involved to follow up, monitor, supervise so that it is done perfectly all right. And then to determine when order and deliver materials and equipment. The Gantt chart can explain you when the material is finishing, when it is to be filled in. To show the impact of productivity, related problems, and project completion. Timeline is also very well followed from the scheduling. Always remember, whenever I say scheduling, you remember this part. Okay, this is a big thing. I'm Because you're starting right just now in this topic, I'm giving you a simple one, but this may have many legends, like it may have quality inside, it may have budget inside. It's all project management software like Monday.com, Wix.com, Project, Microsoft Project. There are so many in the market already. Some are freeware, some are we need to buy, or some we also have in our university. For civil engineering, we have Microsoft Project license version. And other engineering, you need to follow up with your faculties. Okay, one important thing I want to tell you this time, I'm planning. I'm planning to invite at least one electronics and one the other guy mechanical. Two of them to be your panel member in the project. Is it okay? Agreeable? But I will not, since I am introducing right now, I will not account for their marking. Right, the marking will be done by me and according to the rubrics. Is it okay? I invite the panel for you so that you learn more. Agree with you? Any suggestion? Hello, are you there?
Yeah, Miss. It's a
Ah,
good idea.
I repeat once again. For your project presentation, you will present. Your group will be there. I prepare a sub cluster, sub channel so that every group will be there. You can prepare. You can do your mock presentation before I come into your channel. All these things you can get ready. And I'm going to invite two panel members to observe your presentation, give comments and corrections, some corrections in your project, especially electronics and mechanical people. I will try mechanical or petroleum people, anyone who is available on the day. Two people I will invite. Is it okay?
Yes, Miss.
Any other two, three answers, please? I check personally my fellow students.
Yes, miss.
Student. I'm also a student as always. Well, Abdul Aziz, okay for you? Presenting to panels as well?
Miss, are they going to take part grading or just
No
the
grading. No, no.
part?
I will grade, but they will check whether your project is okay. Some corrections, comments they will give. They are not
Okay.
take part in the grading. I really got when I was checking through your project file, and then I decided to do that. Is that okay? Because you need to learn. That's my ultimate aim. Hmm?
Oh, okay, okay. It's okay,
And
Miss.
then Baradan, is it okay? Baradan, not here. Switch on and left already. Baradan,
Yes, miss.
can you present before panels and me and IR Ben?
What miss was me? Come again?
Your project presentation, I'm going to invite two panels together with the
Okay.
lecturers of this module. Is it okay for
Okay.
you?
Can miss when miss?
The schedule given to you, schedule I've didn't
Oh,
prepare, but it will start in week 12. It is
okay,
correct
okay,
because you
okay.
have 129 students. When I start by week 12, I can finish by week 13 or plus 1, then we go for revision. Is this clear? And then Choi
Yes,
Zuen,
miss.
is that okay for you, Choi? Choi Zuen? Choi, is it okay?
Yes.
Presentation with panel, good. Fanit, I always ask Fanit. Fanit, okay?
Wait.
Fanit is not here. Farhana, Farhana,
Yes, miss. Okay.
you're Malaysian or foreigner?
Foreigner.
From which country?
I'm from Bangladesh.
Oh, you know when, but better, but camera switch on, we'll have all the problems also. Connectivity problem. We never see each other. Fumao, Is it okay, Fumo?
Moser, right?
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's Moser. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay for you to present before panel? 2 more panels? We are
I
also
thought
arranging
17, is it?
from university only, from university, our department. Maybe your lecturer, favorite lecturers. Okay? They will not grade. Me and I have been only grade ultimately because we are teaching you, we are with you. They are only giving you the corrections and the comments on your projects. Okay? For you to learn. Take it positive. Okay? Felix? Felix? Are you there? Pujin?
Yes.
Agreed? Agreed for evaluation by panel? Quick, spending a lot of time on this interrogation. Is it okay? Larzi? Larzi, is it okay? You present before panel? Are you ready? Your project is ready? Larzi, what's the stage of your project?
Yes,
What's your stage of your project? Have you completed doing sustainability aspects right now?
let me check.
Do you agree for presenting before the panel? Nya, Ike, Ongte, last one.
Yes, miss.
Oh, agreed?
Yes.
Maybe if there is anyone or majority don't want, just put in the chat box. I will decide. I give you time until end of this day. Give you, if it is you can discuss among yourself. I leave the channel on for another few more minutes. You can discuss and then say whether you need a panel or not. Okay, I leave it to you. It's good you learn from them. Okay, I'll stop this point. Then we go here. Is it? Because one more thing, because you are learning from two people, right? It's good you also learn from others. And there is one talk arranged for you, ccp event for this module. I will explain. I mean, the poster will come later on. You are also learning from registrar, BEM registrar, retired registrar who has a vast experience in all these membership responsibilities, duties, becoming professional engineer, advantage of becoming a professional engineer, pathway. You can even take a selfie with him. You can get along with him to get it registered for your membership. International also we are going to do. We will see, otherwise I will teach you about international membership, how it is going to help you for your career building, lifelong learning, and grow in your field of study, maybe research, maybe higher studies, maybe for your employment. Okay, we are planning for it will be on 21st of this month. We already lost one day by public holiday, so let it be a replacement day for you on Saturday. It is on Saturday 21st, 10 to 1 p.m. I think 1 or 2 p.m. I will give you the schedule. The poster will be on posted to you by email, UCSI email by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay, so you're also learning from these people. You reinforce your learning on these BEM activities, roles, responsibilities, and the royalties. You can learn from him. Okay, so that easy for you to remember and reproduce in your examination. We are arranging these as well. Please bear in mind. Where your slides? Okay, okay, the slides still there, right? Where we are here to show the project scheduling can also show the impact of productivity related problems, and the problem just now I told you, the developer and the vendor says we have to cut, we have to customize, cut, and bring the equipment inside the laboratory. I take the same example of UCSI renovation. The equipment should be brought here or replaced, renovated by customizing or modifying the size to suit the new lab location. But at the same time, the users will be bothered whether it can satisfy their requirement. Results will be different. Study will be perfect or not. That worry is always there, right? So these kind of productivity problems also can be discussed if it is parked under the visualizing chart or a nomogram, right? To see the progress, whether it's achieved or not, what stage is it, what is tomorrow, whether the tomorrow's activity will affect today's one, what kind of changes we can incorporate, who are all to be present on the day. All these things can be tested, found, identified every day, daily basis, to provide a communication tool between consultants, contractors, owners, suppliers, right? Yeah, nowadays it is having online meeting. Suddenly you can call for a meeting on that day, that point, calling, inviting people, whoever is online, inviting them early so that they are available at the time of meeting. Especially the discussion between consultants, suddenly like this type of changes, we need to consultant. Here the consultant in this case, you see, say, I have 4 laboratory innovation will be lecturers, deans, the lab technicians. They should be accepting their modifications, changes to suit the requirement. Contractors, right? Owners. Sometimes contractor agree, owners doesn't agree. Suppliers, they always claim the quality is good, work is good, but the contractor try to compromise the owners and consultants. So these kind of play between the parties involved will always be there, but you can have a control over by making a project, scheduling a proper management of the activities involved. To meet contractual obligations, yeah, sometimes there will be a contract to finish milestone. I mean to say milestone. The contract of all the site clearing should be ended by this day. Transferring equipment should be this day, front page should be this day. So these type of contractual obligations in terms of time or money or people will also be handled conveniently. Some general procedure in scheduling: establish the project objectives that are to be achieved. Okay, general procedure, yeah. If you want to develop your project schedule, you can follow these steps, right? You know what are the items involved in, what are they, quickly? In a project schedule, what are all the items you can find or one can find? Project scheduling. On left. Just switch on and left. Answer me please, make it interactive. What are the things you can see in a project scheduling?
Start and end date.
Okay, time. Good. Any other? Very nice names, wait, I cannot pick the name.
Sequence of work.
Sequence of work, very good.
Progress.
Okay, well, the main 4 things that you can mention, individually it may have, inside it may have subclusters. Give me the 4 main clusters inside. What are they? Time, cost, then time, cost. Finish it. Quality, right? Well, this one, the slide which we are showing you here. Time, cost, and quality, right? Sociology is involved, society is involved in the 4th case. Maybe in future, when society 4-5 is completely implemented, you will all have that, right? These 3 items: time, will have start and end, milestones, contractual obligations, all these things will be here. Budget, right? Whether it's a finance, a loan, under loan, or owner standing, what are the disbursement of money, what are the cash flow, variations, and all these things will be studied here. Desired quality, whether you want to achieve the grade A, grade B, grade C, or you are going to create a grade. All these things will be discussed here, right? Always remember these points, huh? Right. In achieving this, having understood the characteristics, the key points in a project schedule, how to develop it, this is the procedure. Let's start with the objectives. What are the objectives? Whether it's a construction objective or developmental objective, establishment or renovation. What are the objectives of the objectives in specific terms, or in other words, objectives will give you specific activities. You have another thing called scope. The scope can see what is the boundary that you're going to achieve, right? Whether you're going to do only for this UCSI or all UCSI campuses and so on. Okay, determine what activities and sequencing. So once you set the objectives, you can have activities and the duration. I think we've done this before. Anyway, activities, then durations, timelines for each activity, and the relationship. Okay, logical relationships of these activities. Maybe this which has to go first, which has to second, or which are all the things that is going parallelly. With that, you can draw a critical path. The critical path says what is the first activity, connect to the second activity, third, and so on. I will show in a picture next. Finally, implement the schedule like this, the critical pathway. You can draw this one of the example of a critical pathway that is shown here. Before this, what is here? And this is one of the programs, project schedule, program schedule, whatever the way you are calling them. You will have activities: excavation, piling, abutment, steel girders, concrete deck, finishing operation. These are the activities over the months, and the duration required: start and end, start and end, start and end, start and end. There is a parallel activity, right? There's a parallel activity during this time, and this one there is a parallel activity during this time and this time, right? Before you in August you will be doing this. Eventually you start this activity. So this is overlapping. Maybe all the people will be, some workman will be employed here, another other technicians will be involved here. So you need to play between these many factors, which is complex in nature, by using program schedule or project schedule. Right here, what is it? You are seeing the cross section of this one construction. This is the project. This is the project. For this, the activities are written here. And you can see the cross section and the section at this point. The cut section of the construction view also given to you. That is not much important, but understand that they're going to construct this concrete deck across this river, across this waterway, and what are the activities, what are the duration, what are the starting and ending, what are the milestones. Sometimes they will have milestone here, or here. Depends on the project. It's not mentioned here. Network diagram, activity on arrow is example of a critical path. Started with number 1, site clearance, right? Once you do the site clearance, it is not going straight. It is branched into another activity, parallel activity. Some workmen will be, some laborers are employed for cut and fill. Some employees are doing the excavation and form culvert, right? And then goes with place and base, and so on. The dotted line says this is the actual real activity going on. The hidden line says that it is not at the site, may not be happening at the site. It may be somewhere, but it needs a time. That's why they put on the waiting time or lead time should be there for changing from this stage to this stage. That's why dotted line. But it's not actually happening at the site, which has to be monitored. And then construction of the pavement, finish. Construction of the concrete deck, finish. Bar chart, you can also plot it in bar chart. The same example and this example. Another example is like this, with this, right? March, the days, number of weeks, it may be weeks. I think 4 means must be week. First week, second week, third week. Weekly also you can plot it. And then see here the free float. There is a free float or a gap in the project for the between this activity and this activity. You can see the free float. It may be time for curing, right? Where you don't have to really employ people, go to site or monitor, but you still need a kind of quality time for proper curing. For example, concrete and curing concrete, or if it is enzymes, you're doing research and you have to grow enzymes, wait for a number of days or number of weeks, then you have to have this time. It's like your blood test. What's the time for getting blood test? Complete test of your blood all the report, pressure, cholesterol, sugar, what else? All types. The 2-page, 3-page report. Getting the complete testing of your blood. How many days or months you have to wait? Anybody? Please make it interactive. Very common question I have asked. Can you go to Sir Doctor, give test and wait and collect it now? Right now? Blood test. Complete test. I don't know what they call this, the name is, but complete test to me it's not just testing a group or things like that. Whether you COVID or not, I'm not talking about that. Blood test, the complete test. Whether you have cancer, whether you have other infections, so on. All types of tests, analysis of your blood. You answer me.
Yes, doctor. There's no test that will be ready immediately. It all takes time.
I'm asking how long, minimum time taken.
Minimum time, from what I have seen and experienced, 6 hours
6 hours.
for the
On
blood test to detect what disease you have.
Okay.
And also, doctor, it all depends on the facilities that you're going to. You're going to a clinic, you're going to a private hospital, government hospital.
No, take the top class hospital in Singapore, UK, well developed countries, and the topmost technology embedded hospitals. With that, you go to give a blood test. You are asking for complete report. Just now I told you all types of disease, group, cancer testing, so what? HIV testing, this testing, that testing, all types of report need to be done. Okay, so that you can say you are safe, right? You cannot run for every time. To do that, you given blood, and how long is the duration minimum? 3 days, I tell you, to my knowledge and my reading and observation. 3 days you need, because they need to develop. I don't know in medical terms. To my knowledge, it is like we any environmental testing, any kind of bacterial and or virus testing, we have to grow. We have to see the exploration, right? How this is multiplying, how this is whether sometimes if you heat it too much, become more resistant. Bacteria, some bacteria become more resistant. It will go very fast, right? So you need to test, need at least 3 days time. Okay, at least 3 days time for getting your complete blood test. It can be done in 6 hours, 1 minute, or 1 hour, minimum 1 hour, I think, minimum 1 hour. But the thing is, you need some time, right? Quality time to be taken for certain activities like this. You have, if it is a concreting work, curing time. If it is a computer programming, maybe installation, right? And the software installation, all this time, maybe taking server. If you want to build a big server for the globe, then you need more time, or for a region, right? All change to 5G, you need some time to upload and install the software, hardware, all those parts will be taking time. But sometimes manpower is involved or automatic, right? That is what the free float referring to. Okay, some activities are hidden, suspended, only the time is incurred. And here another activity, then total free, and then finally critical task finish at this point with the developments. So maybe development or finding something new. Right, another activity is like this. Another activity may be continuing, it's actually continuing, and there is a parallel for like fabrication. The wood carpenters are doing their windows and doors at the side. At the same time, foundation work is going on. And then half of the, once the foundation is finished, and the carpenter work is still going on, right? The certainly I'm not recalling the names. Welding, bar bending, all will be still going on, but you can have a free time, or you can jump to next level, right? You can jump to next level at the end of, either you allow free, or you can employ all the people here, employ more, monitor here, so that it is finishing faster. Then you start with the next activity, followed by other activity. This is another type of project Gantt chart. This one I got it from last year. One of the topmost project funding from MOHI, Ministry of Higher Education, Malaysia. This one, they also use this one, right? As I said before, this is a real example for using project management, project Gantt chart for your proper management of any activity, any program, right? Transdisciplinary grant scheme. Transdisciplinary, what does it mean? Transdisciplinary, quick English meaning. English meaning of transdisciplinary.
Involving multiple disciplines.
Very good. So involving multiple disciplinary. Did I write anywhere? No. Okay, good. So multidisciplinary, right? Any maybe sociology, computer, economics, many disciplinaries involved. MOHI encourage more of transdisciplinary project. Their scheme is like this. Planning is like this: initiate, plan, execute, control, close. Control is the one you implement and assess whether it's functioning well or not, what are the troubleshooting, what are the problems, whether it needs an extension or not, whether you need to redesign or not. All these things will be dealt here. You recall all your project management scheduling, the steps in doing, then you can know. So I repeat: initiation, planning, executing, control or assessment, then closing, maybe end of the project, or no more monitoring is required. The stage wherein no more monitoring is required. There is no such project. But closing, we usually take it as the end of the project, end of a life cycle of project. Maybe I will discuss about this. But this one, closing, is always demolition, end of the project, death, no longer valid, like that. But here, in this case, they adapt this one for in calling for projects. They start with a real problem. Initiation, you need to come out with a problem. What is the niche? Then identify 3 or more fields of transdisciplinary approach. At least 3 disciplines should be there, so that each one is perfectly attended. And then planning, study the real problem, research questions, right? All the research questions, problem statement, everything will be coming here. And then develop the first hand information, like what kind of solutions right now you have, what kind of methodology you have. Then develop your scientific materials, develop the technology, develop new technology or modification of the existing technology. Then control, or maybe implement. Once you implement, you know what are the parameters that is working well, that it needs modification, and then come out with a new technology. From here new technology, and from here it is branched into measure economics and measure social parameters. So lastly, this transdisciplinary scheme, the call for project from MOHI ends with publication, patterning. This one a discipline, right? This is only concept paper, that's why it's ended with publication. It's a concept paper, so ended with publication. If it is a product development, what do you have to do lastly? Royalty. How do you achieve the royalty if it is a product development? What kind of, you already done, right? Yeah, this chapter is done for you. I say this transdisciplinary grant scheme, which is organized by MOHI, is only the based on this one. They do the technology. All the concepts are developed, right? At the end, they publish. What if it is a product development? What kind of royalty you have to attend here at the end? Guys, because students used to make mistake, that's why I asked this question here. If it is a product, must be trademark, cannot patent. Product cannot be patented. If it is a computer program, what do you have to do? Is a computer program patentable? Patentable? Anybody, please? Going to finish 1 hour. I am still in this chapter. If it is a computer program, yeah, please, you have to tell me, right? In future, maybe all types of engineering have to do some kind of programming. At the end, you need to claim your royalty. How do you achieve? By patent or copyright or trademark or what else? Trademark, copyright, what else? Design, industry design, or what? Program can be copywritten, cannot be patented. People are there, right? Students are there? Okay. When you write program can only be copywritten. You cannot claim for patent. It's not a new technology. Somebody have developed the functions. You are using the functions. You are developing your codes. Okay, right. The concept, this type of concepts can be patented. If it is new technology, new development, can be patentable. And this one. So here they are finished with the paper. Either you finish with the paper or do copy a patent. After filing patent, you can go for publication. Okay, shall we go through this video? Are you ready? I don't know what is happening this 1.5 hours and no response. Can you see this video or skip?
Yes, we can see
We
the
see, Miss.
Please don't see the duration, the 2016. I don't know with the version keep changing, but let's have this package now. It is not like Windows. Windows you have now 11. 11 is going to come in 2021. You're using Windows 10, right? Windows 7 outdated already. Whatever the program we develop, you have to redo it. Now Windows 11 is going to come in January 2021. But these type of projects, they are only versions. You can still learn from them. Okay, you follow the MS project, which is recent one. One moment. I need to click the audio.
Welcome. Today, we'll be looking at Microsoft Project Pro, a project management tool that offers powerful control and monitoring capabilities at all stages of project development and fulfillment. This video is brought to you by Technology Advice. Our mission is to educate, advise, and connect buyers and sellers of business technology, and one of the ways we do so is by providing unbiased reviews. This video review is for Microsoft Project, a solution that looks to make project management easy and engaging by enabling teams to analyze resources, budgets, and timelines. The challenge for Microsoft Project is to retain its status as the de facto standard for project management software and continue to find customers already using Microsoft clients that are looking for integration for all their systems. This enterprise project management software solution is subscription-based and allows businesses to get up and running with no upfront infrastructure costs. New users, teams, and projects can be added instantly via a web-based portal, allowing companies to scale use as they grow. The interface should be very familiar for most users of Windows products, with the tabs at the bottom and ancillary information in the row below. A majority of the software is geared towards displaying various charts and spreadsheets in the main window that helps users more easily control their projects. Projects are broken up into two main areas: resources and tasks. Resources are typically people included in the project. However, they can also include anything that's used to complete a project, such as equipment. Tasks are what it takes to complete a project and are typically broken up into phases. One of the best features of Microsoft projects is the way in which users can interact with this information. There are multiple view modes that are available in the Team Planner tab of projects. Perhaps the most traditional view, the Gantt chart, displays the task's basic information alongside its duration and assigned resource. Projects has the ability to auto-schedule based on where tasks are dragged throughout the timeline. From there, the allocated time is automatically updated. Resource usage can be used to see when and where deadlines need to be hit in order to complete projects. It's also possible to take a peek at costs, as well as whether projects have started and are running as planned. This view mode is nice because it shows how much time should be devoted to each project for each resource. Task usage is another helpful way of looking at the project breakdown and to more easily see the breakdown of resource and task allocation. One of the many available methods to display your information is the network diagram, which offers the user a more visual display of what needs to be completed to finish the project on time. The calendar is also a different way of visually looking at data and resources. Lastly, Microsoft Project also has several features for creating actionable data with the Reports tab. Made for medium-sized companies to enterprises, Microsoft Project is available at a high price point. One of the limitations we noticed and confirmed from online reviews was that learning how to properly use the software is quite time-consuming. It's also meant for those already familiar with the project management process and can be frustrating for those still learning. In summary, Microsoft Project allows team members to manage tasks, collaborate, and more. Make project management easy by enabling them to analyze resources, budgets, and timelines. And it helps measure progress and anticipate resource needs with out-of-the-box reports. To find out more about Microsoft Project or other project management software, check out our website.
Okay. Do you understand from the video? What do you understand from the video? You can start doing your project scheduling using Microsoft Project. Can you mention to me any other type of project that you can use apart from this Microsoft Project? Any example which you might have used in other projects, in your coursework or in your final year projects somewhere, if you are final year student? No idea. Okay. But there are many softwares available. You can grab them according to your need. Right. Let's move on to the next topic. Okay. Next topic on how to analyze your risk. When you started doing your project, automatically you will have a risk tagged with reliability and also the hazardness, right? Some projects involve hazards, some projects which has only risk. Now here in this topic we will teach you only the risk assessment according to the syllabus. I'll share this slide. Any questions so far? Where we are? This one. I already finished this one. There is my topic often hidden on my slide. What happened to this? One moment. Are you there? How many of you are there?
Miss, I have one question. This is Ibrahim. I have one question about the project schedule. When we are making the schedule, do you have to make the schedule for the project that is for like? Do you have to make the schedule for the project, or do you have to make the schedule for making the paper or report for engineers in society?
If you want to do it for your project, right? It should be your project activity, not the calendar of submission. Okay.
No, I meant, for example,
It's activities in the project. It's not the timeline for your handing over project or doing your project. It should be based on the activities. It can also involve handing over at the end, but it's all based on the activities you're going to do, like data collection, literature review, data collection, visiting people, interview, collection of questionnaire, analysis.
Yes, I meant for the project. I mean, do we make the activities inside our Gantt chart or inside our project timeline related to? For example, do we say, okay, this is the part where we meet and we discuss the report and we finalize the part in the report, or do we focus on, okay, this is the part where we're actually going to work on the project? Do we pretend to write our project timeline for the project, or we just write our timeline what we are working right now for engineers in society? Because let's say that a group might be working on making an actual physical project. So the timeline that we are making, should it be for the project, like an actual project that of course may not be finished within these 3 months, or should it only have related to the engineers in society, the first meeting?
Okay, I got it. So your project schedule, I repeat once again, should have the activities in the project. Forget about in line with your time given. Like I say, midterm review will be on the 7th week. Then you put that as one of the milestone in the project, saying that project presentation, first presentation, right? Or review meeting. then you are following the following the timeline as per the program or the coursework given to you. And then end of the project, you are having all the activities. Just arrange all the activities in the project schedule, plot across the time, the 3 months time given in this semester. And then once you finish all the activities, it may be midterm review and then end review or presentation, your project presentation. That may be the second or the last but one deadline. The final deadline will be report submission, isn't it? The final milestone will be report submission. So plot between these activities. And there may be actions taken in between the presentation and report. You have another meeting, right? You will have final meeting to check your corrections, implement your corrections, discussion. You agree or disagree, or you can justify why you cannot amend. All these things you can have this period of time after your presentation. It may be online, it may be by meeting in person, and so on. Okay, it is combined, integrated one. The time given by coursework and the time the project activity is going to take up. But you need 4 weeks for literature review, data collection, plan according to the timeline given to you, the deadline given to you for submission. Your ultimate goal is submission of report, isn't it?
Okay, thank you.
You cannot separate them. I don't know why I'm not getting this slide. PowerPoint. One moment, sir. I leave and come back. Share slide. It's there now. Okay. What is risk? What do you mean by risk? Example? Example, quick. We left with another 20 minutes hardly, quickly. What do you mean by risk? You like to take the risk? Anyone likes to take the risk? Oh God, what is happening to me? I cannot share the slide. Can you all see this? Oh no, cannot. What happened? Okay, go through this one. Select from this. Come on, answer me. Do you like to take risk or not?
Depends on situation.
No, one answer. Yes or no?
No.
I say yes. You should take risk in some projects. The first answer is correct. Depends on the type of risk you are taking, right? Without taking risk, how can you say whether you achieve or not, right? But you should have a prediction, assessment, forecast. Forecast, let us say forecast, prediction is longer. Forecast on how much risk it will incur. Then based on that, you should have some risk taken so that you achieve it. Sometimes the risk is not always a negative event, not a negative event. It can be a positive event. The risk taken by somebody at the company have entered with a multiple turnover, right? Unimaginable profit for the company. The companies should always aim to take some risk. Assessing the risk, you should take risk at times to multiple or upgrade your status, maybe from micro level. Nowadays they are talking about micro. What SME is there, right? Small and medium scale. But MSME, micro, small and medium scale companies. So you can jump from micro to small to medium. All this upgrading your company also possible by taking some risk, right? Okay. some definitions according to the theory you are reading here, but it is not always not a negative one, but can be a positive event as well. Come on. What is this covering? Risk assessment 3C, the chapter 3C. Analyze the social and environmental implications, technology development, including sustainable development. Sustainable development, we will do it next class. Following the project, we are going to discuss about risk management and OSH, occupational safety and health issues. Okay. Next one. Can you hear me?
Yes, miss.
Okay. What is this? Okay, just quick wrap up on what we studied just now. Characteristic of a project, right? Any project management should have goal, activity, state, resource, uncertainty and risk, uniqueness. So you're going to talk about this risk here, how the risk has to be estimated. Risk assessment and management with some examples. You can also generate some examples based on your project. What is risk? Risk is an unwanted, lazy people never like it. We don't want to take any risk, don't want to take any risk, want a cool, happy life. Right? Risk is an unwanted negative consequence of an event of which the possible undesirable outcome can be identified, predicted and quantified. Okay? Because you have this tag, you can always our gentleman, what's his name? Gentleman Ahmad Hamid can take some risk. Eric Chong can take some risk because he knows already. He has identified, he has predicted, he has quantified. He can take some risk to miss many classes, 3 classes, 4 classes, 10 classes also he can miss to because he knows he has identified and he can predict what will happen if he miss few classes, right? Like that you can identify and predict. Based on that you can take up the risk, but generally speaking it is unwanted negative event. There's another one always, uncertainty. Why this risk? Why we call this as risk? Because there is some uncertainty. There is some unexpected events. If it is worse, if it is relevant to or related to any natural phenomenon, where it's possible outcome cannot be analyzed, cannot be predicted. Weather is an example for uncertainty. Weather uncertainty, right? Some people also like this. His mood is very uncertain. Keep changing every minute. Right? Keep changing in every minute. Then we say uncertain people. Right? Uncertainty cannot be predicted. Can only be assessed. I mean, we can only understand the behavior, how this is, the consequences, is how vulnerable, and so on. This slide is not laggy. Okay. Risk management. Let's compare this risk management. Can you all see the slide? Can you see the slide?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Risk management practices are widely used in public and private sectors, covering a wide range of activities and operations. Right? Every industry, maybe public or private, should have calculated their risk. Right? Knowing that if it is a medical industry, they should know how. But we're very unfortunate that COVID has come, which is very uncertain. We can say it is not a risk event; it's an uncertain event. Unlike this uncertain event, normally what may be the infection that will cause during this season, during this climate, that is already predicted, identified. Then they can handle it. They can plan and they can employ people, nurse and the medical staffs can be employed enough to so on. These include can be some of the sectors which must include calculation on risk or involve risk or finance, banking system, insurance, healthcare, because insurance is also always based on the funding, based on the contributing fund performance. If any funding performance is poor, automatically your insurance gain, insurance bonus, insurance, the interest on the insurance will be going down. So it depends on the performance of the funding attachment. Then healthcare. Healthcare is two words. You cannot always say yes, my health is good, and you will have definite number of patients every day. There's a risk. Public institutions, right? Public institutions again, there are a number of stages. Being an academician, we can say there are a number of risks involved in terms of offering program, students, staffs, and then human resource. We can say human resource, infrastructure, government policy, job market, stakeholders, industry players, many factors are there. If they will be at risk if it is not handled properly. Governments, we have many ministries in government. The ministries should run smoothly with proper handling of risks. There are risks if the budget is not properly shared. With the available budget, you need to live with the developments, the promises that are given by the politician during their election campaign. They need to fulfill within the budget allocated, and also from fulfilling their promises and so on. And the changes in the life, right? That is also playing a big role. Construction industry. So last time, although you are of many engineers, I can say about this risk. So many companies and firms, contractors, consultants are suffering from implementing IR4 technologies, right? IR4 technologies are very useful in this pandemic time because they are all governed by machines and robotics, drones. If it is implemented, the company is running very well. But looking into the cost and the technology, know-how, the workmanship, the proper experts handling this equipment, all these things are very difficult to be implemented by all companies, right? Maybe contractor A type B, or any level of organization is suffering. It's a risk, right? At the same time, it is more reliable if it is completely implemented. Like these technologies are fully enjoyed by top companies, Gamuda, right? Gamuda, then what? Sunway, Petronas, all are enjoying this. Petronas and TM also have implemented already IR4 technology. So it depends on the company. There is a risk for low-level companies to implement these IR4 technologies. And then research center. Again, research center for take this medical research, COVID. Until now, we cannot get the correct vaccination. We do not know. We are lacking in terms of infrastructure, testing facilities, samples, production of samples, and so on. And then the victims, the tester, right? Human, how we test, whether we start with the animal, human, how many of them available, how many sets need to be tested. All these things are risky due to new pandemic. Any industries. So furthermore, any type of industries which is involving production, managing, or healthcare have to consider this risk, have calculated their risk running their company. You can even start implementing right now. Like you can implement in your home, at your home. What is the risk of getting ready? What is the risk in going to school on time? You calculate yourself, think yourself. What are the factors, right? And this one, at this time, I want to say about the SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis also can give you better understanding of what you are supposed to do. You start applying from your own life. What is the SWOT analysis result of your own life? What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the threats? What are the opportunities you have as a engineer, a graduating engineer, right? Maybe a student, right? As a student, what are the SWOT you have, what are the, at home as an individual, what is your SWOT results. Try to apply and see and be clear in your own parameters. Start from there, and then you slowly implement in your exams, in your future ventures, projects, studies, and so on. It will be very, very interesting. You know far better. You can clearly understand what you are and can proceed further. You will not end up with any problem. Even if it is occurring, you are able to manage and overcome them. Right. Let's see the example one. A risk. I keep saying risk, risk, right? We need to estimate. We cannot have numbers and definite. It's not a definite mathematics, indefinite mathematics, or random mathematics, random maths, you can say. That's why we always use statistics, statistical method for probabilistic method for estimating this risk. You can only represent by percentage. You cannot exactly say how much money I lose if I implement this method, if I remove this method from the market, remove this product from the market, replace with another product. We cannot completely exactly estimate it. Sorry, estimate, when I put it's already rough value. We cannot exactly quantify it. We can only predict by percentage and the fractions, some fraction in terms of percentages and fractions, you can say. Start from here. You see this matrix, please listen carefully to this matrix. Are you there? 2 more minutes, bear with me. Sorry, 10 more minutes, bear with me please. Let me explain this matrix for you to understand how risk is being quantified. Come on, low to high. What is low to high? And this side is low to high. Likelihood, consequence. Okay, likelihood, the expected, and its results. Come on, number start with this. Oh, I put everything here. Do one by one. Okay, anyway, I explain this one. It's a road. It's about the road. Oh, example one, consequence and likelihood explained through risk analysis. Likelihood of getting accidents, right? This topic is on likelihood of getting accidents. This example is very interesting. That's why I brought you here. It's a borrowed one. I didn't develop myself. Okay, start from here. Like bicycling on the roadway, bicycling, right? When you, if it is bicycling, the portion of consequence will be very low, right? The portion of consequence from here to here is very low, end up with high. Sorry, start from here, single to many. Number one, if you say this man is cycling, right? So his likelihood of getting accidents is very, very low, right? And the consequence also very low. It's not improving at all, right? It's not improving at all. Better consequence. The green shows the better consequence. The consequence is better, better consequence, or it is for helpful if it is bicycling. One person is bicycling on the road, right? The accidents are less because he can check. He need not be very vigilant on many traffics, many vehicles on the road. So the risk of going in bicycling as a single person, one person riding on the road is very low. No accident or never happen. The consequences are very good. The greenery, green, more green. A little chance that he can skid. Maybe he's over happy, excited, he may get skid. Right? Broken his leg, broken the cycle chain, and so on. Then start here, grow a little bit higher. The truck, again start with the truck. The consequence of single truck on the road is again a very low risk, right? Very low risk. As you grow, right? As you grow, there are number of trucks on the road. Automatically, this chart are likelihood is at very high level, and the consequence also very high. Consequence means the number of likelihood of getting accidents are more, and the impacts are more. The loss, the consequence, devastation will be more. On the other hand, when you go here, the bicycling, at this point high, likelihood of getting accidents will be very high, but the consequence will be just collapse with each other, broken leg, wounds, some head injury, and so on, because it fell down, right? Hit and fell down if it is riding very fast. So the consequence is relatively low because of this more number of vehicle. So like this you can quantify them by matrix form. I repeat once again, plot from single one, both are very low, right? And the better value, better consequence. And then this growing here, number of tracks, a single track is very low, likelihood is very low. More track, likelihood is very high, consequence also very high. And this kind, high and low. High likelihood, more chances, because many people on the same road, width of 3 meters, 6 meter, many people on the road, high chance of getting accidents. The risk is bit lower, bit low. Okay, any question here? There is another example also. Where is it? Hey, where is it? You. It's not here. I will post another risk assessment which I use for my project for flood forecasting. Before you construct any house or buy a project, you should check whether that area is flood prone or not. Whether it's sitting on the embankment of the river. If your construction is sitting on the embankment of the river, you're prone to get flood, isn't it? Flooded. What if the river is overtopped? Automatically, it will swallow your construction. So there is a risk calculator region wise. They have plotted, come out with different types of flood across different ratios of risk. They have plotted. I will paste this slide later on when I post for your post in CN. That is also very interesting to learn how we can estimate the risk, knowing the likelihood, knowing the chances of failure. Okay, I stop here. Any question you can ask me. Oh, we have let me finish these few slides. I think very there. Oh, better I continue next class. You need to know the steps. Maybe I may ask questions from here. Okay. Any question? I request you to start
Miss,
filling in your yes.
I joined a bit late and I missed the attendance calling.
No problem, but try to attend on time. Okay, next class
Alright, thank
onwards,
you.
try to attend on time. Today 7 absentees. What happened to them? Whether barred or what happened? I already advise you to have a financial arrangement. You're all engineers, right? On any day, I mean, before you graduate, you should settle your money. All right. You may request for the timing every semester. What is the feasible time for you? The getting your income, from your parents' side or guardian or from your own, how you can manage. You should have a plan, right?
Miss, did you mark me as absent?
Yeah, I am downloading the attendance. I already downloaded. You are there. Don't worry.
Alright, thank you.
Any other questions from your side? Please make it interactive. Apply all these tools and techniques that we are doing in the classes in different titles. Please try to implement in your projects. It will be very good for you. I want to see how many of you doing the last time. Really fantastic. Some of them are fantastic project. They even do it their own hand drawing. Okay, coming to the notes. Slides. The class slides I'm posting on the YouTube. Okay, either you subscribe, then you will be getting notification of all the class notes, or you go to that particular website, download your slides. Sorry, the class video you can download from YouTube, because nowadays it's missing, and I cannot hold so much memory in my computer.